Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting live on Channels Television, Lagos and Abuja. A reminder of our main stories. Workers' Day, and Nigeria Labour Congress leader used occasion to condemn terror attacks in the country. Another explosion occurs in Nyanya area of Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. Police used tear gas to disperse a group of Nigerian workers protesting abduction of schoolgirls and what they call high level of corruption in the country. And Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro announces raise in minimum wage by 30%. All our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the go, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Well, please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your report, pictures and videos. Well, we'll go back to Paul Wanchuku. Tell us, the situation as it is now in Nyanya. Well, looks like, I lost that line, and I hope that Paul gets back online to give us an update on the Nyanya bomb blast again. Well, barely 48 hours after a peace agreement signed by Jukun Fulani Tiv communities of Wukari in Taraba State to end hostilities, clashes have again broken out in some parts of the state. Rampaging Fulani herdsmen are reported to have attacked communities in Wukari and Gasol Bali local government areas, burning and destroying villages, food crops in violation of the truce. In a phone-in interview, a resident told correspondent Charles Eruka that 2 farmers were killed by the herdsmen in one incident, but that security agents have arrested some of the attackers. Well, time to go to Abuja studios for more on the news at 10. How are you doing, Linda?
On ground in the state have been directed to coordinate.
Now, protesting women seeking the release of over 200 girls from Islamic militants in Borno State have vowed to, protesting women seeking the release of over 200 girls from Islamic militants in Borno State have vowed to continue the protest until the girls are rescued from their captors. The women reconvened at Unity Fountain area of Abuja to re-strategize their protests. Some of the women called on labor unions to join their campaign to put pressure on the security agencies to intensify the search. Others appealed for the rescue of all girls abducted by the militants.
It was more of a deliberation by protesting women demanding the release of the 234 schoolgirls abducted by Islamic militants in northeast Nigeria.
Thank you.
Indigents from Borno State who were also at the meeting gave an account of how innocent young girls have been abducted years before the abduction of 234 schoolgirls 18 days ago.
These 200 plus Chibok girls, it's not that my heart is not with them, it is bleeding for them, but thousands have been abducted. Unknown names, unknown faces. Millions have been killed. They're counting the number of people that have died in thousands.
It's unacceptable that these girls are still in the hands of the terrorists, and it's still not acceptable that we have more than the 243. We still have those that were taken from Kwanduga that were not reported, and we still have those that were also taken from Buniyadi, where those young boys were killed and they were not reported. So I feel the government should do more.
One after the other, these Nigerians suggest how to ensure the safe return of the girls.
There must be need of this growing body to get in touch with religious leaders and see if we can widen the pressure that is developing from here. Two, there's a need for us to set up a trust fund of some sort to take care of the families of these young girls that have been taken away and also those that have secured their own freedom.
Many areas in my state have been destroyed and the girls abducted. Where are they? Mothers are crying, fathers are crying, and these are future mothers. We don't know where they are. We are crying to the government and people to help us.
While the search for the girls continue, some of the protesters call for the involvement of labor unions to drive home their demand for the release of the young girls and several others who have been missing over the years.
The Nigerian Armed Forces has again reaffirmed its commitment in protecting the territorial integrity of the nation by rescuing the schoolgirls abducted by Boko Haram insurgents in Chibok area of Borno State. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the Director of Defense Information, Major General Chris Olukolade, said the forces will remain disposed to receiving and analyzing all information with a view to rescuing the abducted girls.
The military reaffirms its unflinching resolve to continue to discharge its responsibility in defending the territorial integrity and the people of Nigeria in the most professional manner. This will apply in the search for the missing girls, which is currently ongoing with other security operations nationwide. A lot of information has been received in the efforts at securing the freedom of the girls. The Armed Forces assures all Nigerians that it will continue to appraise every information received during these operations accordingly. Unfortunately, however, the information, some of which have been mischievously publicized for sensational reasons, have always turned out to be spurious and of no operational use. Disturbingly, some of them have been mischievously sensationalized and publicized. Disturbingly, some of them have been mischievously sensationalized and publicized with a view to heightening tension and inflicting more pain on the nation as envisaged by the terrorists. In view of the need to provide daily updates on the search for the abducted girls, the Defense Headquarters has directed that henceforth progress reports on the search will be handled by the Borno State government. The security forces on ground in the state have been directed to coordinate with the state government and provide them with necessary information on the search of the girls.
And today is Workers' Day, and for that reason, so many issues bothering on workers' welfare and the standard of living will come to the fore. These issues may be more critical this year, especially as the country announced the rebasing of its GDP. One question an average Nigerian may want to ask is, how far would that affect their lives? Our correspondent Shinwo Kimbaloyi on our big story tonight gives us an idea of the import of the GDP rebasing on the average Nigerian worker.
Nigeria, the continent's big brother in terms of population, has recently become Africa's biggest economy since rebasing its GDP figures for the first time in over 20 years. The rebasing, they say, will provide the government with a more accurate view of all the levers that can pull to drive growth. Foreign direct investment is also expected to get boosts from the new figures.
Any which way you look at it, at least now we know the size of our economy. Now we know that the non-oil sector is leading this growth, and therefore we also know that it will help to point investors in the right direction.
But a source of concern again could be the poverty survey by the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, which reveals that 61% of Nigerians live on less than $1 a day. How bad has the average Nigerian purchasing power become?
Good morning.
Isaac Obayomi is a secondary school teacher in Kogi State in Nigeria's north-central region. Apart from the seemingly unfriendly work environment, surviving the tide with his income is a daily struggle.
For instance, a level 7 officer who received 36,000 after feeding, maybe you said you want to even feed with 200 naira per day, which is not even visible, and you have 4 children, your wife and yourself, that is 6, 1,002. 1,002 times 30, you know what it means? It's more than that salary. That means there is no money for feeding. You are not going to feed well, you are not going to pay your bills.
For some other workers, making sense of their income has become a hard task.
The challenges of increase in transportation because of the fuel scarcity has really eaten deep into what you have.
Food is perhaps one of the most important aspects of livelihood. For every worker, putting food on the table, no matter how hard, is a must. But for those who sell, the prices of the commodities have become largely unstable over the years.
It's getting higher more and more. You understand? Anything that go up in Nigeria cannot be able to come down again. Even overseas, you see, price of 10 in 10 years can still be the same up till now.
There is a framework for stimulating employment all over the world. On the fiscal side, you ensure that government spends more money, okay, and also ensure that the more money is spent in the area of capital expenditure. Other